is a place that exists in the minds of its citizens, as much as it's a place where the citizens exist. This is where everybody comes to simplify life, businesses, experiences, to grow and to prosper. Because in a world that's constantly changing with time and innovation, simplicity and everyone in it evolves with it. So that those
So it's a spatial experience. As the avatar moves away, the video stops automatically. Mr. Mahindra was talking about simplicity, which Manish Vyas had also referred, which we are unveiling using the foundational block, which is 5G. As the CP's avatar walks along, we will take you through the foundational capabilities of Metaverse, which is Web3.
Hello.
Again, the
Welcome to
interaction
Metaverse,
starts.
the NFT marketplace. So this is our homepage. And these are the latest NFTs recently added for sale. For user login, click on the rightmost icon for login page. Now you can log in either through MetaMask or Taurus. Now we will log in through MetaMask.
So as
So we are
CP
successfully logging through our MetaMask wallet. Now we'll go through artist. So as you can see, these are the onboarded artists who are authorized.
As CP mentioned, we are showcasing all these capabilities outside this particular auditorium. So you will get a
A
continuum
technological
of digital and
disruption
physical
is happening
experiences.
across industries. Organizations are facing a challenge of depleting margins and reduction of revenue. While a major data explosion is happening in enterprises, 90% of it is not being inferenced for monetization. Data in on-premise data centers requires expensive expansion. Alternatively, the data must be shifted to the cloud. These migrations entail latency and privacy compromises, and running of wired infrastructure is an expensive affair. To unlock the next, we must take the digital leap. But are enterprises ready? If they aren't, now is the time.
For example, the auto industry is utilizing only 50%.
So every one of you have an ability to log into this TechMverse using your particular avatar. Every showcase is interactive in nature, and when the person clicks on the kiosk, the information will be automatically emailed to the person with all the details. So now we have the avatar walking through the rest of the showcases and finally going to the fun zone, which is the personalized NFT. I would request all of you to collect your personalized NFT after this particular showcase. We have the stall or the experience zone set up outside. What we've done is, while the showcase is very, very elaborate in terms of we have the ability to showcase the dealerverse on Metaverse, the meta banking transactions on Metaverse. So we want your experience to continue in the physical realm. What you have seen is on the virtual realm, and we will give you the continuity of that in the physical realm outside the auditorium. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajesh. That was absolutely surreal. I would now like to invite Nikhil Malhotra, Global Head of Makers Lab, to walk us through the next that we have now.
Hello, can you hear me? So, I know you can all see me, so I don't do my surprise, but good afternoon, everyone. For the next 3 to 5 minutes, I implore you to focus on me. I am a meta-human, an avatar, and I'm replicating what Nikhil would have done, or I would have done, had I been on the platform. My friend in the physical realm, Mr. Rajesh Dudu, just gave a beautiful description of the TechMverse. I'm here to extend the same thoughts. The TechMverse is going to be a brilliant place, a realm where you could meet and greet friends, enjoy collaborating and cooperating with colleagues, visit virtual workplaces, even spend time doing leisure activities. What you would be able to find me and many like me in the meta banks, in the auto dealerverse that Rajesh talked about, where we would serve our customers, where we would interact with you, and where we would resolve your queries. I would be able to traverse different platforms and worlds, but while I have fun with the virtual world, I would also be at the service of society and businesses to ensure they connect emotionally and empathetically, create content, and do commerce. And as all of you can see, I have quite a range of emotions to showcase, which I'm doing it right now. Can you see it? This is Techemverse. Welcome to the next world where we would connect with you and our avatars in the way that we want to solve different purposes and solutions, not just for ourselves, for our businesses, but also for our society. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikhil. I now request Jayesh Karu, CP, Ramadevi, Nikhil, to please join us on the stage for the media Q&A. Please note, in case we're not able to address your query due to time constraints, we will take it offline post this conference. The first question is from Shelly Singh. Lights. The first question is from Shelly Singh. How many metaverse projects is Techem doing at the present? Who are the customers?
The number of projects that we are doing. Again, thank you everybody for joining us today. For us, Metaverse journey, as I have said earlier, is driven by the basic fact that the infrastructure, the 7 layers of Metaverse, has the first layer as infrastructure, which is 5G for us, and the last 7th layer is human experience management, where we had 5G, as you know, we invested to build capacity, capability, and have delivered many projects. And similarly, for human experience management, we acquired a company in New York called Bond, and over a period of time, we have started putting together the metaverse practice. We are right now doing 2 projects in India and about 7 simulations and trials globally.
How much revenue do you expect from Metaverse in the first year and going forward?
We have never given forecasts, so I won't give you revenue, but my assumption is we have 4 labs in which a lot of work is going on. The lab in Dallas looks after the 5G part of it. The lab in London, or the studio in London, looks at different aspects of integrating, and like the demos that you saw, where you saw my chairman, Anand Mahindra, in his avatar. And we have two labs, one in Hyderabad and Pune, which integrate the projects, and I expect a reasonable amount of our revenue driven by 5G, human experience management, and meta commerce to drive not only the new age projects, but more importantly is that it will drive meta commerce.
The next question is from Nick Booth. Technology should only save us time or money, not confuse or disempower us. How will this technology save us time or money?
Rajesh, you want to take this?
So we all know that because of the pandemic, we are not able to travel, and we would like to get into an experience which is near real. The analysts have been talking about teleportation for those near real kind of experiences and simulations. So this is going to bring you there. For instance, recently when I was speaking to one of my nephew, he said he is going for a birthday party. Then I asked him, where are you going? Are you going to a McDonald's outlet or a close by mall? He laughed and he said he's going to a birthday party in a Roblox environment. And when I said, do all of them are getting together in the Roblox environment? He said, no, it's going to be phygital. Part of them are going to be in the outlet, and the balance of them are going to be in the virtual environment using the Roblox environment. And they want a seamless experience as though all of them have gotten together and they're eating the same stuff because the food can be delivered at home. That's an experience that people are looking for. And from an engagement perspective, today, for example, the dealership that we are going to launch, you will have a customer who will get a complete immersive experience with regards to a car model sitting at home, right at the home, and all the regular sales queries or regular information requirement can be met in a surreal experience. And once the engagement comes to a particular level, the lead of that particular person is passed on to the nearby dealership so that the dealer doesn't have to start the rigmarole once again in terms of finding out what the customer wants. So we've done an engagement from a product inquiry and an exploration perspective to a certain extent in the virtual environment. And the real experience with the product is going to be in a physical environment, and that entire thing is going to be a new customer life cycle management, and that's how it is going to give differentiated experiences, save money, save time, and most importantly, contribute to the reduction of the carbon footprint.
The next question is from Jason Verhoeven. What is your intended market share in India?
I guess it's a bit too early to answer that question. The reason is that today is the date of the launch. And number two is the early adopters are always the youth or companies which have a bigger focus on their brand management. So I think the market will develop, and hopefully we will have a decent share or a reasonably high market share in India. And why India? We would like to have we have global aspirations, and we would like to have a global market share.
Next question is from Ayushman. What will be the initial team size like? Hiring plans? Are you opening a separate hub to focus on this?
I think I've already answered this question, that 4 hubs, Dallas, London, Pune and Hyderabad, haven't fully crystallized. It's a dynamic plan, but the first case says we should be looking at about 1,000 people in the year 1. Is that right? Yeah.
In terms of billing rates and margins, are metaverse projects similar to digital transformation projects or higher or lower?
I mean, again, I'm excited about the possibilities. I'm excited that metaverse opens up the new universe. I'm excited that it allows Tech Mahindra to harvest on some of its investments, particularly the blockchain, particularly the bond group, and on 5G. As of date, I am more interested in creating a market than to worry about only the revenue or the profits.
Thank you, CP. Thank you everyone for joining here.
Can we get the mic, please?
Welcome to Hyderabad CP again after 5 years since we interacted with media. And now, Metaverse, it seems it has already taken over. We are some about 10 journalists here, and now you have taken the questions from the Metaverse first. And it is wound up also.
Good one. Abhilasha, phygital. So physical you are ignoring completely.
Absolutely. No, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Sir,
You made a good point, sir.
Yeah. And I appreciate also, no, it is already beginning. So you were talking about starting 2 projects already and some 7 simulations in the metaverse space. Can you just give us a color on what kind of sectors they are?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the question. So basically, as you know, most of the capabilities are going to come from the underlying contributory blocks. So you have 5G, AI, and blockchain. From a blockchain perspective, you have NFTs, non-fungible tokens, which play an important role because metaverse is all about digital assets and digital ownership and fractional ownership on those digital assets. So we already have launched a couple of marketplaces for those non-fungible tokens. In addition to that, what we showcase today is a showcase which is readily available to all our customers. For example, they have to hold immersive meetings. They have to showcase their capabilities on metaverse. The environment that we just showcased you can be readily be used. In addition to that, we have use cases in gaming, which you will see outside this particular August auditorium. We have use cases in meta banking. JPMC has taken a pole position. Woori Bank in South Korea has taken a pole position in meta banking. We'll be showcasing that to you. And we will also be showcasing the auto dealership as I had spoken to you about. So what it is going to do from a customer's perspective is it's helping customers to bypass one generation. You know, there are big corporate houses who are talking about super app. What about the other businesses which don't have a super app? They don't have to develop the super app anymore. Come to Meta. We will help them to metify their engagements and their offerings. Thank you.
CP, you said you have a clientele base of some 1,200. Are you going to offer this as an add-on service? Have you set up any separate marketing team for this?
You know, clearly, as I also said, there are early adopters and there are cases where the use case is more well defined. So I don't think we need a separate marketing team, but we definitely need a separate execution team. And yes, the execution team would be primarily based out of Hyderabad and Pune.
Just to add to that, our marketing team will be the first users of this particular experience, right? After this, you're going to talk about it and it is going to become viral. The people who experience it, they will come automatically to us. So as CP had said, we don't need a specific marketing team for this.
Okay, thank you.
The team size, we already have a...
The team that we already have is about 50 to 100 odd engineers, and we plan to extend it to 1,000, as CP mentioned. And the team sizes are of varied skill sets. So you have people who can do content designing. There are people who can do spatial technology. There are people, obviously, who know AI, 5G, and human experiences. So that is the team that we have earmarked at the moment, but we plan to increase it as well.
Just now, Mr. CP said that the team will be based out of Hyderabad and Pune, particularly the execution team. So I'd like to know this execution team, particularly how big is that size?
Sorry, which
How
team?
much is the size of the engagement team in Pune and
In Pune.
Pune and
Yeah,
Hyderabad
yeah, about they're currently spaced out at about 50 odd at the moment. And in terms of Pune, we have skills in AI, AR, VR, in terms of spatial technology content. In Hyderabad, we have blockchain, we have NFT, and we have other cloud technologies and integrated services.
Just to add to what Nikhil had said, there are two kinds of workforce who will be involved in this. One is in terms of the direct workforce, which is curating all these experiences, which will be primarily the AR, VR kind of workforce. The other one is the workforce which is already working in terms of blockchain, in terms of 5G, artificial intelligence, because they are also contributory blocks towards this. And that workforce is already 1,000 people at Tech Mahindra.
And going forward, Mr. CP said 1,000 will be added, or the number will go to 1,000, from 50 to 100 to 1,000.
About 100 people today. As per the current plan, it will grow to 1,000 people and hopefully more.
Based out of only Pune and Hyderabad?
I think yes. I mean, as I said, there are 4 centers. The studio kind of a work will happen in London, and 5G related work will happen out of lab in Dallas, and the rest of the work will happen in Pune and Hyderabad. So there's global delivery centers.
Thank you.
We also have a physical booth outside for the press, so you can experience these zones and also have questions side by side. We would now request our chief guest.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Siddharth from the Daily Pioneer. So my question is, the whole metaverse thing, how will it, affect or benefit a common Tech Mahindra employee who's in a tier 2 or a tier 3 city of India? Will it benefit them or will it affect them in what way?
I think it's a great question. I think, firstly, let me applaud you for that question, because I think people have been talking about metaverse, but you're the only one who's talked about the tier 2 and tier 3 city. I think it's bringing them closer, number one. Connectivity is one part that we have always been saying, but collaboration and cooperation would actually bring in more from tier 2 and tier 3 cities, number one. Number two, we'll also see use cases may emerge from these tier 2, tier 3 cities, which may be built in into metaverse, which we are possibly seeing in the urban sector, but they may come up from the tier 2, tier 3 cities. Number three, you would see meta workplaces may bear up, right? And that's what we are hoping, because we are talking about COVID as being the biggest driving force of how metaverse has been. Well, people can go onto those workplaces from tier 2 and tier 3. And number four is content in language. We've got 1645 dialects in India and 28 mother tongues. I think somewhere or the other, these tier 2, tier 3 cities would be the progenitors of those content pieces that we want to drive in metaverse. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So they're about to ask me to speak. I have to speak next.
Yes, yes. If I can invite Jayesh Karu to please address the audience now.
Thank you. Respected Mr. Gurnani, Mr. Nikhil Malhotra, Mr. Rajesh Tuddu, Mr. Manish Vyas, Mr. SGK Kishore, my colleague Rama Devi Garu, all the senior colleagues from Tech Mahindra, members of the media. First of all, I would like to convey the greetings of Honorable Minister, Mr. KT Ramarao Garu, who unfortunately could not be here. Actually, today morning we were together in this area only, and we were discussing about this event. But at 11 o'clock, he got a call that Honorable Chief Minister has kept a budget meeting at 2 o'clock with all the ministers. So, unfortunately, he had to leave. But I'm sure had he been here, he would have been extremely delighted, because he is one person who has been pushing us that we should encourage companies to dabble with emerging technologies as much as possible, and government should be a very strong partner to all these companies. So today is yet another occasion when a very important technology, a very, very latest technology. We have just seen it rolling out just a few months ago. And the fact that Tech Mahindra is taking the early mover advantage is very encouraging. In fact, Tech Mahindra, as we all know, has been very progressive in these matters, and to take that leadership in metaverse is also equally path-breaking and very, very appreciable. We have very good experiences of collaborating with Tech Mahindra. In fact, I remember 5 years ago when we started looking at blockchain, and we felt that we should create a blockchain ecosystem which must be anchored by a very strong industry partner. All information that we gathered in the market pointed us to Tech Mahindra. Everyone told us that there is no one else which has a deeper blockchain practice than Tech Mahindra. And we all know Rajesh has been working with us since those days, that we created the blockchain district. We started amazing blockchain products. Tech Mahindra also created T-Block, a blockchain accelerator, created some physical space for blockchain startups to be here. And the culmination of all our work was a very successful demonstration of remote voting, e-voting, in which again the security of the vote was based using a blockchain platform. So I'm very sure that all the great work, the great experience of collaborating and working together that we have developed on blockchain, we'll be able to replicate it in the areas of metaverse also. As everyone else has pointed out, I also see tremendous possibilities of metaverse, which will be of relevance to the government as well. In fact, skilling is one area where I really feel, particularly when you look at the new generation kind of skills that the world will require, and the kind of circumstances that we are going through, metaverse will be a very good opportunity for transmitting those skilling kind of programs. But of course, there are other very good use cases also. The banking use case. See, any use case where the customer experience can be elevated using technology will be an ideal use case for metaverse. So there are many possibilities, many opportunities. And as we have done for blockchain, if there is any use case in which we see that it will have a direct impact in the lives of the common persons, we'll be very happy to kind of partner. I would also like to give a couple of suggestions from my side to the metaverse team. See, it's a nice coincidence that we are meeting today. We are launching TechMverse. But just about 10 days ago, we also, Ramadevi is here, my other colleague Minal is here. We took an important decision. In fact, we are ready with our space tech framework. And we decided that because it is a space tech framework, we should launch it in metaverse rather than doing an actual event. We have even chosen the date, 18th, isn't it? 18th April? Yeah. So we were not really aware till few days ago when you told us about this event that you also have your own platform. So we started asking some startups. We know that there are a couple of startups who have acquired some proficiency in metaverse. In fact, there is a Hyderabad-based startup which actually did a music concert of Daler Mehndi as a part of this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So we contacted them, and when we were talking to them and when we were discussing with them, they told us that the biggest challenge for a startup is to create that infrastructure. So if you can offer infrastructure as a service, you can also spawn lots of innovation in the worlds of metaverse, because startups are finding it very challenging and very costly also, as a matter of fact, to create that infrastructure. So infrastructure as a service can be a very good offering to promote innovation and spread the culture of metaverse around. The other is, of course, skilling. We have been working together on blockchain skills, etc. And now that Mahindra University itself is right in our backyard, we would expect more and more skilling programs, because we do have a very good culture of animation studios, gaming, VFX, lots of skill development programs in these areas happen. But metaverse is a couple of notches above, couple of notches beyond. So we should also look at running some good skill programs. Some of your staff members who are actually into the metaverse practice, if they can become the master trainers and create a pool of trainers, we will be very happy to collaborate. The animation VFX industry has many training institutions in Hyderabad. If they have interest in it, we'll ask some of them to upgrade their existing centers to teach metaverse as well. But these two areas of providing infrastructure as a metaverse infrastructure as a service, and supporting and creating skills. These two will become truly defining. And when Mr. Gurnani mentioned that Hyderabad can become the center for metaverse in this country, if all these things are handled comprehensively, I have no doubt at all that it will. But nevertheless, I'm extremely delighted that we are launching TechMverse from Hyderabad. As Mr. Gurnani pointed out, it will lead to creation of new jobs. It will lead to creation of more business to that state, more value addition to the state, and definitely in days to come, I'm very confident that some absolutely user-friendly use cases will come out, and Tech Mahindra will continue to amaze us, marvel us as always. So congratulations once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jayesh Karu. Those were very insightful recommendations. I would now request our dignitaries and media friends present in the auditorium to please proceed to the experience zones through the exit door at the back of the auditorium. Request the Tech Mahindra associates to please remain seated here. In the interest of maintaining the COVID protocols, we'll divide you into groups and you can visit the experience zones one by one. You can also collect your personalized NFT at the fun booth. Thank you, everyone.